Beverly Hills Precious Metals Exchange is a client-focused firm devoted to assisting our clients with precious metals. Our clients range from first-time to serious coin collectors and investors seeking to add precious metals to their investment portfolios. We are not interested in volatile investments, leveraged products, and intangible assets. With rising inflation and the devaluing of the dollar hurting middle-class families, investing in gold and silver ensures protection for your hard-earned money. Save the value of your money today by investing in gold and silver at Beverly Hills Precious Metals.
I have Andrew Sorcini on today. We're going to talk about precious metals because he owns Beverly Hills Precious Metals. And those who have listened to our podcast, silver had two roofs. It had $27. It took it out in May of 2024. The second roof was $32. It took it out on the 18th during Tabernacles of October. And today, silver's up 60 cents as we're speaking, ready to break through $34. So I wanted to have Andrew here because this is a very, very important moment in time for those who have been waiting for a biblical financial event. We're at the cusp of something going down. I truly feel in my heart. So with that long introduction, Andrew, thank you for being here, and God bless you and your family. And unfortunately, I did miss you at the Reawaken America tour there in North Carolina. So Andrew, welcome.
Well, it's good to connect with you. And I definitely looked around. I was just at the first day of Reawaken this time, and we had to head back to California for an event. But it's we have no shortage of activity happening in the metals market.
Absolutely. And actually, you missed it because what happened was when I went on stage, I did my presentation. At the end of my presentation, I actually gave Clay 5 ounces of silver in the shape of a Glock. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a lot of people ask. They're like, wow, it's they're asking about the Glock silver, which a lot of the times those are privately made and can be quite expensive, but they're really neat to have.
Yeah, so I'm sure you, because of what I did, I'm sure you've gotten a lot of phone calls or emails.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's always fun. We get to connect with people that are like-minded and they ask about it. It just has me research these different type items, but that sure is fun. Any silver is good silver.
Amen. Exactly. So, and again, if you understand what Andrew and I have talked about, Andrew's phrase is, what's good for gold is great for silver. There's a metals analyst from years ago. His little word on silver versus gold was silver is gold on steroids. Now, many people have reached out, and many times people will reach out to Andrew and say, hey, gold keeps going up and silver keeps sitting there. And what have we always said? We've always said Bitcoin's the first horse to break out of the gates. Understand, people, Bitcoin's been in a bull market since $15,000 when we nailed the exact bottom to the exact day in November of 2022. So Bitcoin's now in a 2-year bull market. The second horse out of the gates is gold. Gold's off to the races at new all-time highs already. It's at 2,800 right now. The last horse out of the gates is silver. And what was the marker? The marker's always been $32. Andrew, where's silver trading at right now? What's the price? What's the spot price?
Silver's at roughly $34.40 in that range. And it's jumping. We're going to push toward $35 an ounce. If we break through that, that's something we haven't seen since 2013.
Amen. You see, so Bitcoin's on all-time highs. Gold's on all-time highs. And the last horse out of the race, last horse out of the gates is silver. And the silver still is not at all-time highs. So before this podcast started, I actually reached out to Andrew and I said, Andrew, can you get me a box of American Eagles? Why? Because I know what's coming. See, people say, is it too late to buy silver because it's now at $34? It's above $32, $34. People, it's not at all-time highs yet. It's about to explode into all-time highs through $50, and it's going to run like you've never seen before. It's going to be gold on steroids. What's good for gold is great for silver. So silver's about to go like we haven't ever seen and imagined. And again, what if when Andrew and I get together, and sometimes, many times Pastor Dave is with us as well too, and we've also referenced Bitcoin. Andrew, the roof on Silver was 32 before it starts to go crazy. Now it's above it. The roof on Bitcoin, which they've held Bitcoin back for the past like 8 months, 8 months, was $70,000. Andrew, where's Bitcoin trading at right now?
I just looked at it. It's at 72,850, which is, I believe, an all-time high.
What I'm trying to show people is follow the trend. Follow the trend. These asset classes that are about to destroy the US dollar are breaking to new all-time highs. This has never happened before. This is biblical, what we're witnessing happen. This is a battle between good versus evil, but here's the thing. We've got Jesus and then we have Satan. You have to understand Jesus is the creator with God the Father and the Holy Spirit. Satan is a creation. He's nothing but a creation. What I want the viewers to understand is this is not a battle because it's already over. The creator knows what the creation is going to do in advance. The end was written from the beginning. There's no battle, people. It's over. So if it's over, if we know God wins and evil is about to be taken down, my question to everybody is, and then Andrew can expand, what's God's money? Because if God's going to intervene, and he's going to take down the financial system, because that's how they built it. We've seen all of the Kim Clement prophecies manifest so far. And then Kim Clement said, the brothers of Goliath standing glee, we will cripple you. So the brothers, the BRICS nations, they just had a meeting, but they haven't acted on what they agreed upon. We could see a sudden event where the BRICS attack the US dollar. And it usually, like I said, happens into a weekend. It usually happens into a weekend or as a week's ending. So what I'm trying to put together for all the people viewing is just an understanding is this is a spiritual battle. They use the Federal Reserve note to build Babylon. Time is of the essence here. The day this goes down, no one knows, but the math is screaming. This is literally a time point, which I will expand in a few minutes, but this is a time point literally of the fall of Rome. I'm going to show you how to calculate that and why this time point right here is the equivalent time point for the fall of the United States. So with all of that said, Andrew, if someone reaches out to you, and furthermore, what's your thought on precious metals right now? Maybe answer like, what's your thought at silver trading at $33, $34? Is it still a good price, good value? If it is it available? How long does it take to receive the metals if they put an order in today with you?
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy to comment on all this, especially on a day like today. But I'd like to say that I can confirm that Bo actually has made a silver purchase today, which I love that because it's a lot of us as investors or protectors of our personal finance, we feel that it wouldn't make sense to buy something today that you could have bought for less yesterday. Now, almost exactly 24 months ago, you made a purchase of a bunch of silver on the basis of a spot price of $18.50 an ounce. And today, silver's closer to double that. I mean, sitting at literally $34.38 an ounce. Most people wouldn't have the guts to invest in something that's gone up that much when they really could have just doubled down or tripled down 2 years ago. But I love it because you're not caught up on your entry point. You're investing based on where you know that it's headed and what's going to happen. And I love that. And if more people would do that, then we wouldn't have the available supply of silver that we're fortunate enough to have now. So for anyone else out there that hasn't invested in gold and silver, specifically silver, right now is a great time because, as you've already pointed out, Bo, Bitcoin is at an all-time high today. Gold has hit an all-time high just since we've been on this podcast. It's at $2,773 an ounce. But silver, sitting at $34 and change, is still really about 2/3 of where the all-time high is. So silver has a lot of room to run to get into a fresh high. I'm not talking like $50 an ounce, I'm talking like $60 an ounce on upwards of about 100. So people can reach out to us today. If you're able to make a purchase today, we send you an invoice by email. The invoice has the agreed upon price with bank wire instructions. You head over to the bank, or some people can do it from their computer, send us a wire transfer. You'll receive a paid invoice either the same day or the following morning. And then the silver will ship usually in about 48 to 72 hours. So most of the stuff we actually have in stock, or at least we can have it shipped from our storage account over in Delaware. So people should reach out as soon as possible. It's not too late. If you're not in a position to do it now and you think you could be in a month or two, it's not going to be too late then, because we're investing into gold and silver based on where we know that they're headed. And that's really important in helping you proceed with it, because you don't want to get caught up on what could have been had you done something years ago. It's not too late.
Expand further on if people have retirement accounts. And I want people to understand, if you have a retirement account, Andrew can expand upon this, but when you get your statements, what you're getting is digits.
Yeah.
Digits in a bank account that were created out of thin air, which you believe. See, everything's about perception, which you believe to be money, okay? But real money is gold and silver, and that simply reads scripture, Haggai 2, verse 8, the silver and the gold are mine, saith the Lord, and a cattle on 1,000 hill, because we all like steaks as well, too, at least Andrew and I do. And so what I'm trying to illustrate is gold and silver are God's money. And so if you do not own God's money, you do not understand history. History has proven every single currency. What is a currency? A money instrument used for transactions that's ever been created by man in the past thousands of years. Every one of them has gone to zero. So if you don't own gold and silver, you don't understand history, because history said that every single currency will eventually go to zero. And as soon as Andrew's done speaking and answering questions on 401ks and the money system, how it can and always has gone to zero, I'm going to explain the calculations God revealed to me literally a day ago on how to calculate the fall of Rome.
Wow.
And why we are here right now for the fall of the financial system. Because Rome fell because their money was devalued. That is why Rome fell. And we're about to witness the devaluation of the Federal Reserve note, which is not federal, no reserves. We're about to witness it. It's going to go down. It goes down in the year 2024. I'm going to show you the calculations. So, but before we go there, Andrew, so someone wants to move some digits around and they want to own hard assets, precious metals, gold and silver. How do they do it? And how long does it take? And also if they have IRAs or 401ks.
Sure. So gold and silver are available right now. All you need to do is simply just fill out that form that's right on your screen, name, email address, phone number, and how you heard about us. You want to say Bo Polny sent me, or the Gold 2020 forecast. Right now, the follow-up time is about 24 hours. If you reach out to us on a Friday, there's a chance that we might not get to you until the following Monday, but the response time is super, super quick, because we realize the urgency here. Now, for some people, they've already invested in gold and silver, and there's another way to do it without you actually having to come out of pocket for any dollars right now or any digits. And the way to do it is to roll over an old 401k that you might have from a company that you worked at before but are no longer at. Those can be rolled into a precious metals IRA. This is not a taxable event. Those IRAs then purchase real gold and silver based on your direction. So we talked to you about what your goals for your retirement are, and based on that, we'll come up with what percentage of gold you should have in your IRA and what percentage of silver. And that gold and silver is actually stored at a third-party depository where it's fully insured in Delaware. So this is real gold and silver that you could have sent to your home or office if you needed to. But if you did that, it would be a taxable event. But having it held in the depository is not a taxable event. Now, you can also roll over IRAs that you have into a precious metals IRA. And something else that I've recently learned that I don't talk about enough, other types of retirement accounts can also be rolled into IRAs, like inherited IRAs, simple IRAs, TSP accounts, 403A, 403Bs. And I find that the more that I mention this, the more transfers that we start to see come in for those types of retirement accounts. So it's not limited to 401Ks and just regular IRAs. And if you have questions about it, you really should reach out and at least get the answers to the questions you have, so that if now or if later, if you do decide to proceed, that you can have the information necessary so that you can make an educated decision and not an emotional one. Because like Bo said, when this starts to really blast off even more than it has, you're going to start to feel this emotion that you could be missing out on something that other people have been a part of, and you could make an emotionally based decision. And if you do it with us, you're going to be in good hands, but you might find that you might try to rush it. You could end up dealing with somebody that might not be taking good care of you. So you want to get that education before things start to get crazy and while the metals are still relatively low.
It's going to get crazy. I promise you. Something biblical is about to manifest here in our financial system.
It says Johnny Enlow prophesied that when silver hits $50 an ounce, that we will be stepping into a jubilee.
Come on.
So thank you for that in the comment section. We appreciate John.
Expected to start next week. So the cycles that God revealed to me indicate that things supposed to take off potentially 11/11, but I would expect the event to go down on Tuesday afternoon. 11/12/2024, gold and silver explode. They're going to blow through $50 next week, and that starts the Jubilee. So that starts the 5th year. It's going to blow through 50. It's never taken out $50. So it takes out $50 next week, and that starts the Jubilee that we've been waiting for generations. And that actually will fulfill the Jeremiah prophecy, because I will restore the fortunes of my people. That starts next week. And then verse 19, this is awesome, because out of them shall come songs of thanksgiving. What was the Kim Clement prophecy? When this event goes down, you will experience the greatest Thanksgiving in human history. This Thanksgiving will start a 4-year harvest. The greatest harvest the world has ever seen. It starts Haggai 2 verse 9, the latter rain will be greater than the former. This starts the great harvest that was prophesied by Bob Jones after the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. We step into the greatest harvest in human history. That starts in the month of November, and Jeremiah 30 verse 19 says we will be singing songs of thanksgiving. When the event goes down, you're going to have 1, 2, 3 billionaires step up. All the above ground silver will be sold out in a single day within 2 weeks. Okay. So by the time we step into December, I will tell you there's a likelihood of being able to acquire silver will be next to zero. It will probably develop the name called unobtainium. So when this event goes down, you won't be able to get it anymore. And so it's about to go down here. We're not going to get out of November without a gold spike. Okay, gold spikes in November with silver, and when it goes within a few days, few weeks, it'll be sold out globally, and you won't be able to get it because
they can't just print it.
Right.
The way we transact has been prophesied, and it's stated very clearly. The way we transact is about to change forever. It's coming. You can't stop what's coming, but you can prepare for it. You can also calculate what's coming to have an understanding of time. So since I've got Andrew here, and Andrew I know is pretty good with math and numbers. And this is not complicated math, this is just fun math. But if you get your calculator out, Andrew here, if you can maybe pull your phone up and get your calculator ready, because I want to show you, the math is so, when God's in the details, you'll understand that it's so simple that it's got to be God. When the math is so simple, it's got to be God, but also at the same time, to think about, no one's ever understood this before. God revealed this to me just a couple days ago, and it's crazy because now that I understand it, it's like, wow, I cannot believe that no one's ever seen this before. So I want to go through this with you, Andrew, and have you look at this. If you have your calculator in front of you, have a look at this. So we had the Star of Bethlehem manifest. Okay, so we'll start at 0. Now, if you count, now I want also the Star of Bethlehem, those who've listened to me understand the number of 1, 2, 4, 8. So 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, 4 + 4 is 8. So we've talked about that before. Here's the math right here. So this is a simple math. And also, if you do 1, 2, 4 times 2, you get 2, 4, 8. So 1, 2, 4 times 2 is 2, 4, 8. This is how I calculated the precious metals movements. This is incredible because what I discovered years ago was gold and silver oscillate on a 21-month cycle. It's all biblical, the mathematics. So what I want you to see here is look at the simple math I'm showing you. Now, you saw the number that I revealed there was 248. Guess what our solar system, the farthest star called Pluto, for it to make a entire solar orbit around the sun, guess how long it takes? 248 years. I guess my question to everybody is, how does that happen? How does the furthest planet take 248 years to make a full circle around the sun, and its mathematical perfection to what God's numbers are? Now let's use that number and calculate the Declaration of Independence. So 248 years times 7. What is that, Andrew? 248 times 7.
1736.
Okay, so we got 248 year cycles. So cycle 1, 2, so it's cycling. 7 times we get to 1736. Then we understand that what happened was before Israel walked into the promised land, they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. Andrew, can you please add 40 years to that calculation?
1776.
I'm going to pause because, like, all you can say is, wow. And then the United States was born with the Declaration of Independence. That was the land of milk and honey, the promised land. Tell me this isn't incredible. This isn't truly incredible by the hand of God. There's no way this would have worked out. This is not possible. But it did. Now, Andrew, if you can add another 248 years to 1776, what do we got?
Comes out to 2024.
The end of the United States Corporation. This is the fall of Babylon. I just want the viewers to understand, from the Star of Bethlehem to now, this is an 8 cycles of 224 years. 8 is an infinity number. It's the number of God. We are stepping into the Great Awakening. In the Great Awakening, you get the Great Shakening into the Great Awakening, and the fall of Babylon is about to manifest. I don't care what anybody says. It's going to happen. Now, Andrew, we talked about Rome. Now, those who know scriptures, please don't listen to me. Just verify your scriptures. I want you to pull up Daniel 12, verse 7. And Daniel 12, verse 7 says something. It shall be for a times, time, and a half a time. So a time is 360, in this case would be years. Times would be 360 times 2. And then a half a time would be a half of 360 or 180. So that equates to 1,260 days, lowercase 1,260 years. Andrew, can you go from the Declaration of Independence, 1776. Now, subtract out the 40 years.
1736.
1736. So that takes us back. And now we're going to calculate subtracting 1,260 years.
Now we've got, I have 476.
Anybody who's listening, get out your computers, Google the fall of Rome. 476. Rome fell on 476. Andrew, Google it. Fall of Rome.
It says right here, the abdication of the last Roman emperor Romulus Augustulus in 476.
Come on, Andrew. How does this happen? I got you laughing. I got you smiling. It's impossible.
This is like that Dan Brown novel where Tom Hanks goes back and they're looking at the Mona Lisa and how everything is connected, and they're able to basically solve history and find artifacts. But this is biblical. This is, I mean, look, you can't really explain it other than this has already been decided. This is already happening. And wow, I don't know how you could make these connections.
And that's the thing is, no one's ever seen these connections. This is the first time I'm revealing it to anybody in the world, because God literally showed me this 2 days ago. And I was making these slides all day yesterday, put it all together to make it so clear for the world to understand. It's divine. We don't live in political times. They're biblical. And God is a mathematician. He wrote the end from the beginning. And Andrew just stated it. This is impossible. But yet, it's happening. So the fall of Rome happened in 476. It's a biblical calculation. It's written in scriptures, people. I didn't make it up. I just did the math. And then Andrew confirmed the math. The year 2024 is equivalent to the fall of Rome. Rome fell because it devalued its currency. Google it. That's what they did. That's what happened. Rome fell because it devalued its currency. The United States will fall in the year 2024. Does it happen in November? Huge, huge probability. Does it happen in December? Okay, but you only got 2 months left. And Kim Clement stated, and Christmas says, I will, meaning God, will make you happy. So why to me is it so critically important to have Andrew Sorcini here? Why am I talking about precious metals? Why did I buy today? Because I know it's coming. What's coming? The fall of the United States. Because it was built on a financial system by man. And every time man's financial system crumbles or falls, Andrew, what is the go-to currency? And what is that's been for 4,000 years. Every single time man's currency falls, what's the go-to?
It's always gold and silver. It always is. You can take it anywhere in the world at any place in time, and it always has value.
I just want to say, I'm so happy to reveal this, and it was so fun to see Andrew's reaction on his face, because you can't make this up. This is mathematics. 1 + 1 is 2, and it doesn't matter how you do the math, it's 2. And what I showed was 1,260 days running the Pluto cycle of time. How does that happen? How does Pluto's circumference around the sun have 248 years in it? How does all of this happen unless it's by?
Yeah, it's God. It is. It's wild. Just breaking down the math on that and coming up with 476 is just unbelievable. I would challenge anybody to explain that means something else.
Absolutely. So, Andrew, let's finish up here. How do people reach you? And again, get back on how long this stuff takes. As I'm telling you, I believe we're at hours. We're not at months. I believe we're at hours, maybe a day, a few days, whatever it is, but we're not at months. I highly doubt we're at weeks. Andrew, how long does it take? Can people reach out? And what's the steps on making things happen?
So just walking people through it, which it's good to go back to the basics. So it's especially important for people that have never done this before. So if you understand what we're talking about and if you're ready to move forward, okay, if you go to our website, fill out the online form there, put in all of your information, name, email address, phone number, where it says, how can we help you? That's really where the greatest value is. Because if you say that you have a 401k that you want to roll over into a precious metals IRA, then put that in the how can we help you portion of the form, because I'll get you over to our IRA department, and they're very, very good at helping these accounts get transferred over. And they'll schedule an onboarding call with you, and we'll get it done quickly. So if that's what you're looking to do, then put that in there. If you're a complete novice, then put that in there as well, because we can get you to somebody that could make sure that we answer all of your questions before we let you proceed with the transaction. If you wish to, okay, I'll walk you through if you did it today. If you wanted to do, say, $20,000 in silver, okay, then all you would have to do is let us know that that's the amount that you have. We'll make a recommendation of what silver would be good based on a couple of questions that we ask you, like what would work best for you. And then if you say yes, we'll send you an invoice. We'll collect your email address, your phone number, your physical delivery address, and that will be printed on the invoice along with our bank wire instructions. And then once you make the payment, Okay. We'll send you a paid invoice. It's usually within 24 hours that you receive that. And then the order will ship usually about 48 hours after that. So we usually just offer product that we have in stock. So it can ship very, very quickly. Even if there's a big run on a certain product, it still ships in like 2 or 3 days. So we pride ourselves in being able to do it very quickly. We know that people out there that have never done it before, like Bo always says, I'll steal his line, is once you click send on that wire transfer, you don't have your funds and you don't have the silver yet. So it's really, really important that you deal with somebody that is vouched for or that has done business with somebody that is known to be trusted. Bo and I have a lot of friends that are in the Reawaken America tour that also are clients of ours and also refer people that follow them. And we've done a lot of good business over the last 3+ years that we've been doing this. So our company is not 3+ years old, but we've been working with the Reawaken America tour and with Bo for that long now. So definitely reach out to us. And we're fortunate enough to where the product is available and can ship quickly. Back in November of 2022, when Bo called the exact bottom of the silver market, there was a delay on everything. I believe I told Bo at that time, yeah, we'll ship it within about a week. And that's normal for most of the other companies anyway. But right now we're fortunate enough to be able to ship quickly.
When Babylon falls, the billionaires that have a lot of digits, the first thing they're going to do is they're all going to run and they're going to call up every single precious metals dealer and say, what do you got? I'll take it all. How do they do that? Because they got billions. When that happens, describe a bull run on silver and how fast it can sell out, because that's what's going to happen within about a week, 2, maybe 3 maximum. I truly believe all above ground silver will be sold out. Expound on, take a few minutes to expand upon that, please, Andrew.
Yeah, so physical gold and silver trades on a spot price. Like you can Google what the spot price of silver is anytime you want throughout the day. So if you Google it right now, it's going to say that the spot price of silver is $34.33 for 1 ounce. Okay. Silver is always going to cost you a little bit more than that. There's a premium above spot price that it sells for. Right now, that premium's at one of the lower price points premium wise than we've seen in years. So we're fortunate enough that is the case. Well, the problem is that the actual physical silver represents a very small amount of silver in relation to what's being traded on the futures market. And with that being said, a billionaire can come in and do a $50 million transaction like we saw a couple of years ago, and that will wreak havoc on the available supply of silver, just as it did for the whole latter half of 2022. And if 2 billionaires were to come in and do that this time around, then forget it. Silver is just going to jump. It will jump probably past $50 an ounce towards 60. And if it didn't, if the spot price stayed the same, the premium would be 100% on top of the price of silver, like it was in 2022 for Silver Eagles. So we're in a very fortunate situation right now to be able to buy silver at such a bargain and have it shipped quickly. And I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't advise waiting.
And now's the point of this podcast. I'm just telling you, the math that God revealed to me, I got a big smile out of Andrew just because it's so crazy and yet it's true. What I'm trying to show the world is if you do not own precious metals, you simply do not understand finance. Every financial instrument ever made by man goes to zero. If this truly is a calculation and this math is true, and it's impossible for this not to be true because we're talking thousands of years with perfect math. So the fact that we are at a biblical moment in time, the wealth transfer is coming. The wealth transfer specifically involves one thing, the explosion in vertical price of gold, and then silver is going to be gold on steroids. That's what's coming. The financial system is going to fall because they built Babylon with it, and it's going to be a moment like no other. This is going to be, I can only use the word biblical because the math that I showed you was biblical. And when this event goes down, like Andrew said, if 2 billionaires step up, forget about it. And there's a lot more than 2 billionaires in the world, okay? So that's why silver and the precious metals, again, it's just you have to mine it. And it only takes 1, 2, 3 billionaires to step up, and all the above ground is sold out. So you will not be able to get it. So again, those who are waiting to see which side won, back to the start of this podcast, good versus evil. If you're waiting to see which side won, there was never a battle, because God already won. It's over. You're just about to find out. And evil is about to witness the hand of God. So we're about to see something biblical go down. I truly hope people have listened to us. I know many people have. When I go to, when you go to the Reawaken America tour, when we talk to our guests and people that come and say hi to us, there's so many happy people that sleep extremely well because they own an insurance policy and they put it on God. So I know there's so many happy people out there, and I know I can just imagine how many great comments you get when you're out there as well too, Andrew. So I want to thank everybody for listening in. I want to ask everybody, please take the time, click the like, click the subscribe button, get this algorithm going on this video. People need to hear this math. People need to hear the truth, and they need to hear what's about to happen in our world here. Andrew, any closing comments? And thank you so much for being here.
The only closing comment that I have is one that you just referenced is so many people came up to me in North Carolina that said, thank you so much for the silver that you provided. I watch you and Bo all the time. There's a couple of restaurants here in Beverly Hills that I go to regularly. And I've had people stop me on the street and say, hey, you guys are doing a great thing. I see you all the time with Bo. And they even reference Pastor Dave sometimes. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that has reached out to us, because your support has enabled us to be able to go out and spread the word to even more people. And you're doing something great for your family. And just good job, and keep doing it.
Amen. God bless everybody, and fasten your seatbelts.